Hi, my name is Pam Henry, and I'm the mom who created MyCareConnect BlueLoop. I created this tool as a way to better communicate with my school nurse. BlueLoop is an online communication tool for students with diabetes and their caregivers. In order to be HIPAA compliant, it's the family that signs up for an account, and then they grant access to various caregivers, including their school nurse, doctor's office, other family members, really anyone with whom the family might want to communicate about the child's care. So once an account is set up, as activity happens throughout the day, depending on the age and independence level of the student and where they're testing, they can go into their account either online or using our free iPhone or Android app and enter blood glucose, carbs, insulin, any information that's relevant, as well as writing a note if they need to. So if you're making an entry, you could put a note like, "We're running low on snack supplies in the nurse's office." Then as soon as you click enter, the information goes into the child's account, it looks at the caregivers mom has set up, and it instantly notifies those caregivers via email or text message. So using Sarah as an example, she is my daughter. She's 16 years old now. She tests herself in the classroom, so she'll pull out her test kit, do that test, put her test kit away, pull out her iPhone, enter the information, click submit, and put her iPhone away. She's done within a minute and a half or so, and instantly the school nurse gets an email, I get a text message, and my husband gets a text message, but only if she's out of a certain range. BlueLoop has three interfaces. It has the family interface, the school nurse interface, and the medical interface for the doctor's office. For today's demo, I'm just going to go into the school nurse interface so that school nurses understand how to sign up and how to use BlueLoop. So first of all, if you go to our homepage at MyCareConnect.com and click on the BlueLoop logo, you will be taken to this page. Down at the bottom, you'll see that it says Sign Up Your School. You're then taken to a screen to verify whether or not your school and your district have been registered with BlueLoop before. So I'm going to enter my zip code, click Search, and it now displays the districts that are within a certain range of that zip code. I can then select my school district and click Next. It then shows me the individual schools within that district that have signed up for BlueLoop. Since I don't see my school, I can go ahead and add it now. I indicate the city as well as the state, the zip code, and then very importantly the time zone so that BlueLoop can set times accordingly. I click Add My School. You'll see now that the school I just added is entered, and I can indicate that this is the school that I am over. Now if I'm in charge of two schools, I could check another school as well, and that gives me access to both of those schools. Now when I click Next, I'm entering just my basic information. It is important to put an email address in so that you are able to get your email notifications, your phone number, and then you're able to select your own username and password. The only rule with the username is that it must be at least 6 characters. And on the password, it must contain 8 characters and contain at least 1 uppercase letter. Finally, I can indicate how I would like to receive my notifications, either by email and or text message. In this case, I'll just select email, and then finally I'm going to indicate how I heard about BlueLoop. I click Submit. So now the system lets me know that it has sent a verification code to my email address. That verification code is unique to me as a nurse as well as to my school. So in this case, I set up Johnson Elementary. If I have 2 or 3 families who have children with chronic conditions, I can pass that code on to my families so that when they are in their child's BlueLoop account, they would simply enter that code and be connected to me. So now I'm going to go ahead and log in as a different nurse just to show you how an already established nurse would work with her system. So at the very top, you're able to see that you are logged in, and in this case, the nurse is Julie Munson. And you're first shown a home screen that indicates what students you have that are using BlueLoop, as well as which schools you have access to. Now, if I happen to be at the Freshman Center today, I can isolate and display only those students who go to the Bridgewater Freshman Center. Or, of course, I can go back to all schools and show all of the students that I'm responsible for. Also, we have a tab called School Settings. This is where you can edit or add information like we had done during the setup. You can change your username and password if you want. You can indicate which schools you have responsibility for. And this is where you can see the individual codes for each of your schools. Now, if you do want to share that code with one of your students' families, you could click Print or Email My Code. You could email and simply put in the name of the family that you would like that code sent to. Now, in that email, it tells the family how to sign up for an account, as well as what that code is that should be entered. Now we're going to go back to our students to show you exactly how information is entered throughout the day. Let's click on Sarah Henry. At the very top, you'll see a picture of Sarah, which is very convenient to have if there happens to be a substitute nurse or teacher at the school that day. You're able to see what conditions she does have, as well as the parents' contact information and what clinic and school she is associated with. Now, in this case, Sarah has asthma, allergies, and type 1 diabetes, and this is our daily entry screen where information can be entered as it happens throughout the day. Now, again, this screen can be completed by the school nurse. If the student's at home, it could be completed by the parents, or it can be completed by the child themselves. It defaults to current date and time. We can choose an event if we want to. In this case, let's say it's post-lunch. We can enter a blood sugar. And in this case, we'll just say that she's having a 15-carb snack and does not need any insulin. You'll notice here we have a field for bolus because in this case, Sarah is using an insulin pump. If she were not, you would not see this bolus field, and instead you would only see the fast and slow-acting insulin. We're also able to document if ketones are tested. Even if they're negative, you're able to indicate that those were tested for. And if a site change was done, you would simply click this button. And then finally, a note can be entered if you would like to do that. Now, before I click Submit Entry, down here at the bottom is our notification list. So these are the people who will be notified instantly as soon as I click Submit Entry. Once I click that, the information is displayed here down below. If I do see that I've made a mistake, I can simply click Edit or Delete and make that correction. And I'm also able to isolate a certain date range if I want to. Also, we have a Log View tab, and this is where you're able to see a view of all the recent information that has been entered. Blood sugars that are high are highlighted in red, and low blood sugars are highlighted in yellow, so that you and the family and the student are able to see trends and make any adjustments that might be necessary. We do have 4 different types of log views. Again, they're all the same information, just displayed in a different way. And then finally on this screen, you are able to select a specific date range and either export that information or print it if you'd like to. The next tab is our doctor communication, and this is where, in a secure environment, the doctor, the school nurse, and the family are able to communicate. In this case, a doctor's made a communication entry that involves a dosage change. Anytime a doctor makes an entry that involves a dosage change, because BlueLoop is HIPAA compliant, those communications can be considered doctor's orders. Next, we have the Medical Profile tab. This screen is read-only for all caregivers other than the parents. You'll notice that at the very top we have a timestamp of when the dosages were last updated by the parents. We've got information like the date of diagnosis and whether or not the child uses an insulin pump or if it's Lantus. And they're able to enter basal information as well as ratios. So if this were a Lantus user, you would be seeing ratios in a sliding scale rather than those basal rates. You're also able to document any other medications that are taken. These numbers here indicate how those high and low blood sugars are displayed on the log. And then finally we have dosage notes and any additional information that the parents might want to enter in. We also have a dosage history button. Every time the parents make a change to the dosages, the system takes a PDF snapshot of what the dosages had been, and it saves a copy of that file. And that is information that you as the school nurse can access as well. Finally, we have the child's profile. This is where parents have indicated what the child's name is, date of birth, and all that information. Again, this is a read-only document for you. And you're also able from this screen to see the guardian information that appears at the top of our screen. The Documents tab is a way for both you and the family to upload any important documents into the child's account. Those documents can be immunization records, they can be asthma action plans, 504 plans, just really any documents that might need to be accessed by the school nurse or by the family. In my case, I've created an Excel spreadsheet that shows for what blood sugars action might need to be taken. So the information or the document being uploaded can be something that's specific to you or your family, or it can be more standard documents like those 504 plans. Finally, we're back to our school settings, and this is where, again, you're able to make any changes to your profile that you want to make. By clicking Close Patient up here, I'm now taken back to that home screen. So you've now seen a demonstration of how BlueLoop works and how you could use it in your school to have better communication both within your school, with doctor's offices, and with your families of children who are affected by chronic conditions. As I've said, one of the reasons I created BlueLoop was to have better communication with my school nurse, as well as to know how Sarah was doing when she was not with me throughout the day. One thing that was happening with Sarah, she was in first grade, and at the beginning of the school year, quite understandably, the teacher was nervous to have a child with diabetes in her classroom. So Sarah was testing in the classroom, but no matter what her blood glucose was, even if it was 104, the school teacher felt intimidated by that and did not necessarily know exactly what to do. So whatever that blood sugar was, she was sending Sarah down to the nurse's office. So the fact that Sarah was able to test in the classroom was really not very beneficial because of the fact that she was being sent down to the nurse's office. So with using BlueLoop in the classroom, it reassures teachers because of the fact that she knows that both the school nurse and the parents are instantly seeing that information that is entered, and that we're going to follow up accordingly if follow-up does need to happen. The other benefit is that if you're a school nurse who covers multiple campuses and you have a health aide or a secretary who is performing those daily blood sugar tests and documentation, no matter where you are, whether you're driving between campuses or you're on another school campus, you're able to receive those notifications and know that your students who are at other schools are doing okay, or again, that follow-up might be necessary. If you're a school nurse and you're interested in signing up for BlueLoop, or you would like a demo with more of the school nurses in your district, please feel free to contact us at any time. We do have a dedicated school nurse line at 717-4MyLoop. You can also sign yourself up by going to MyCareConnect.com, clicking on the BlueLoop logo, and then simply clicking that button at the bottom of the screen that says Sign Up My School. We are also happy to send you brochures that you could hand out to your families, or if you need brochures for the other nurses in your district, just give us a call or email us and we're happy to send you those as well. We're happy to help in any way we can, and we're just a phone call away.